Hello everyone. Today is going to be a bit of a general channel and life update. There are a lot of you there who are new to both of the channels and who haven't seen me yet, so hi! How do we start? Well, it seems to be commonplace these days to start with a health update. And for those of you, again, for the benefit of those of you who haven't been around for a while, I do, since pretty much last year, October, November, suffer from long COVID, or more technically, chronic fatigue syndrome. It's relatively mild in my case, so it just means that I get really tired really quickly, and I need to effectively have a nap every 3 to 4 hours. Other than that, things mostly work, but it has kind of thrown a bit of a spanner in the works of my general plans, life, and everything else. So on top of that, unfortunately, 2 members of my family have developed somewhat more serious health complications, which are going to be requiring major operations. So in the coming months, that, and I actually have a move. I'll put a picture up there. I'll have a move coming up on in probably 6 weeks-ish, where we are going to move out of the apartment that we're currently living in, and we'll be moving into a larger place. So that's finally coming together. So in the next coming months, given that situation, my general, and this is just to manage expectations, my general output of videos is probably going to be a little bit more fluctuating. So while I'm obviously trying to make as many videos as I can, because I enjoy doing that very much, and I am trying to maintain a stable output, there will be weeks where I just don't get to it. This also means that if you have been writing comments, which a lot of you are doing, or have been sending me DMs on Discord, which is also fairly popular, or sending me emails, and I haven't been replying to you, well, that is because I just literally don't have the energy to catch up on everything. I will sometimes be a week late. Sometimes I'm also going to be replying to an email 2 months after. I will eventually get around to it all, but I have to do it within my means. So I'd say the biggest challenge for me with the whole chronic fatigue thing has been acceptance, because it really just means that you can't do things that you could previously do, or things that you could previously do easily are suddenly becoming a challenge. Like if I want to go to the grocery store, that is something I need to actually plan into my day, because I know that once I get back from the grocery store, I am actually going to be sufficiently tired that I am going to have to take a nap for half an hour before I can slowly start doing something else. And if I go outside 4 or 5 days in a row and do something, then I will be completely knackered, like it has been this week, because we've just had a couple of appointments around the construction and planning and a couple of other things. And then, very quickly, you find yourself on a Sunday afternoon and you realize you haven't done any videos for next week. It's you haven't touched any gaming for a week. So there will be weeks like this in the coming months, and hopefully I would probably say around, well, you never know what the future brings, but I would say around probably September, October-ish, things should hopefully have settled in a new place, and everything will be getting a little bit more to normal, but you never know what the future brings. So this is just to manage expectations. If you see me, not posting videos for a little bit, that's why, so I don't have to explain that every single time. But I will try my best to at least stay on top when it comes to things like new premiums, and get my reviews in order. And I will also try to do more on Legends once I get around, once things settle down. So for now, or for the foreseeable future, Warships Blitz is going to remain the primary focus of the channel. And I've dabbled in a couple of the other games. So there's War Thunder Mobile, which is interesting. I wasn't a huge, massive fan of it. I did play a bit War Thunder PC, but I feel like it still suffers from a set of issues. While Warships Legends was a really interesting accompaniment, and looking and comparing it to Blitz, I also found that both have exist on their own right and really have their own merit for existing. So I will be focusing on Blitz for now, just because that is where I have the experience, that is where I have the community contributor role, that is where I have everything set up, and that is where we're going to be making my videos. I will in the future, hopefully, at least that's the plan, once everything has settled down, be making more Warships Legends videos as well, and bring that up, and maybe a third mobile. I don't know yet what it's going to be. Like I said, War Thunder Mobile wasn't a massive fan. War Thunder is has a very high skill floor, just because there are some people in the early tiers that are extremely familiar with all the maps, and it can get, at least on PC, it could get super frustrating very quickly. But Legends was interesting. Maybe I might look into World of Tanks Blitz. I don't know yet, because that's a well-trodden path. But all of this is for half a year in the future or something. So for now, for the coming month, I'll be keep focusing on Blitz, and with the occasional my journey on Warships Legends mobile video thrown in for fun. The other topic that I would like to mention, and as most of you who have been around for a bit already know this, I am actually doing this full-time. Well, full-time in my specific case means I don't actually work for a full-time job outside of this. I have quit my full-time job back in February, I believe, was it February? I think it was February, end of January, early February. Which means that I'm now about 5 months out, and it's been a great benefit health-wise, because I react very poorly to stress due to health conditions, and it was just not sustainable anymore. So when people around you start to telling you that you are falling apart, take that as a signal that you have to change something. And it wasn't just the job at a specific company, because it was actually a very good and supportive company, but it's the IT industry in general that I have been in since 1997-ish, that I feel like I no longer want to be in for the next 20 years until I maybe retire. So that said, there have been plans in place to actually go ahead and do this full time. Then, of course, the whole COVID and long COVID stuff happened, and I have not been getting where I wanted to be. But that's fine. I'm German. I have financial plans in place. I am not starving or anything, so don't you worry. However, what I was planning to do was to do more in terms of offering more benefits like memberships or similar things. And you may have noticed that I've also removed the Super Thanks feature. So there's a reason for that. And the reason is the platforms. And I'm not talking about YouTube here. So this is public information. I will link the respective help article in the description if you want to read up on it yourself. But what happens effectively is, if somebody purchases a Super Thanks they're not donations, they are products. I effectively sell you a little bubble next to your comment, and YouTube as a platform takes their usual share of that, and that's okay, because YouTube gives you the opportunity to do so. So normal things happening. Where it gets really, really critical are two factors. First of all, I don't set the price, because you're deciding how much you want to pay for that bubble. You can pay $1, you can pay $100, you can pay $1,000. I don't think the sky is the limit there. But it's effectively a purchase. And that means if you are on an iPhone and you're using the YouTube app to purchase a Super Thanks, Apple will take their share as well, because that is an in-app purchase. So Apple will take 30%, followed by YouTube taking 30%, and then minus currency conversion, whatever else fees are happening, the rest goes into you. So you may have seen that. On some other creators. There's an infamous video from Jingles. If you follow him, you know which one I mean, where people have donated, and I can put actual air quotes around this. People have donated a large amount of money, which is great. But well, if somebody donates $100. If they're doing it through an Android phone, or if they're doing it through web, great, because YouTube will take their share, and then the rest goes to the creator. If you do this to an Apple device, and this is what seems to have happened on all in-app on all Super Thanks purchases on my channel so far. Fair and few there were, but thank you all very much for doing that. It was very good that you did that because it led me down this to explore this route. What happens is then Apple takes $30 out of these $100. Then YouTube takes their share. And what you will be ending up with is probably something around $38, which then needs to be currency converted or similar. And I feel like that's not fair. And that's not necessarily criticism of YouTube, because YouTube itself maintains the platform, and this is their standard platform fee. They make the videos. Without these videos, this whole thing wouldn't exist. It's just that they're in a typical, in today's economy of or services economy, where you don't really own anything, but you're sort of working your way through various platforms. And every one of these service providers takes their share. Now there are cases where that is completely valid, and because they make something easier, like PayPal. PayPal is a great example. PayPal will take a fee, and it's a percentage. However, PayPal is an exceedingly useful tool for data safety, for shielding your credit card from. I've had this, just a little side story. I've had this with a couple of domains that my wife's business was running and that were no longer needed. But the domain hoster had been bought by a different domain hoster. And that different domain hoster didn't let me log in anymore to cancel these domains. And I spent 3 weeks with support trying to convince them to get me to let me log in. They didn't. They keep saying they would fix it, but then it would not be fixed. And then you come back and they tell you come back in 48 hours. So for 3 weeks, I've been trying to get onto that new domain hoster website, logged into the account that had been migrated over from the previous one that had been bought, but they didn't let me. And I can only suspect, I generally suspect incompetence over malice, but in this case, I can only suspect that they do that on purpose with the accounts that they have bought from the previous domain hoster, to just prevent people or make it hard enough for people to log in that they are not able to cancel, because you can't cancel. Support can't cancel. I have talked to their support. They cannot cancel your domains. So in that case, what I've said, I had a quick and support was, after I had gotten a little I didn't get rude, but I made my displeasure relatively clear in polite terms, and support got very, very cranky very quickly. I have told them, I have now disabled my PayPal. You have no access to my credit card. You can no longer charge me for these domains. I have a written record of this chat. Please find a way to cancel these domains. I do no longer wish to have them. Do with them what you please. And if you decide to come after me with any kind of payments that you think that are outstanding, then there will be legal consequences. But I can, at a snap of a finger, remove their ability to withdraw money from my credit card because I have PayPal. I can just literally cancel that there and be done with it. So these sort of services are extremely useful, and I don't mind paying fees for them. How did I get here? Yes. Because of the sort of stacking effect that you have Apple taking 30%, then YouTube taking their share, and then if somebody donates $100 or $1,000 and you get you get 30% of that actually to you as a creator, of which you then actually still have to pay things like income tax and whatnot. I feel like that's just not something I want. And this is completely opaque to you people who think that you've been supporting the channel, and you have. It's just that the sheer amount that both platforms in that case are taking off. I feel that this is not a fair use of the generosity, especially that we are in relatively difficult times. Money is tight everywhere. So I will be moving any kind of membership and things off the platform for now. And again, you can't fault YouTube for that because they don't make those rules, right? You do an in-app purchase on Apple. Apple takes 30%. And YouTube takes the money needs to take their share as well, because they provide the feature and the platform and the video, and they host the video and they pay for the traffic and everything else. So that said, there are other options, especially for the use case of I would like to support my favorite creator. and so I will be moving to that. That will probably happen sometime July, August-ish, and that'll very much depend on the move, how that goes, how the various health issues are playing out, and everything else. But I will announce it when it happens. But it'll probably be off-platform. So if you're wondering where did the Super Thanks feature go, I have intentionally disabled that because of what's been happening. Right. I think that's pretty much all I had. So in summary, I am still alive. I am still trying to find my way of dealing with this whole mess, and but it's all good. I am not going to starve. I am going to try and get back after the next probably 3-4 months are going to be a bit patchy, and hopefully after that we'll have the new house. I have the whole move done with. I don't have to deal with 5 different insurance questions and builders and all these kind of things anymore. And I can focus fully on, I'll have my PC built and I can fully, which makes, going to make editing, rendering, everything a little easier. And I can fully focus on my, on video production again, which is what I'm looking forward to. So if I'm a little slow in replying to you on any kind of contact, that's just something you're going to have to live with. If there are a fair few videos coming out in the coming weeks, and I will try as much as I can, but some weeks might be a little scarce, then that's why it's temporary. We'll be back later this year. So have a great Sunday still, and stay awesome. Bye-bye.